What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Jeep TV. I'm Brett, and today we're going to be checking out the new Auxbeam bicolor pod LED lights. I'm going to show you guys how to install them and get them set up and wire them in. So let's go ahead and dive right in and check out the product. Alright guys, let's take a closer look at this product. These are the Auxbeam 3-inch bicolor pod lights. They are made out of aluminum. They've been painted, obviously. They have a plastic inner ring to let the light radiate out, or kind of give it a, I guess, to make sure the light doesn't like bounce everywhere. They're kind of going to direct the light. It does look a little cheesy. It does look kind of plastic in there. But for the most part, the product itself feels very robust. It's got some weight to it. It is pretty sleek in design. They're all about the same, but for the most part, it does feel like a very good product. I do hope that the plastic plexiglass, I hope this does hold up and doesn't get condensation inside. Let me get you another look at the bicolor LEDs. You have 2 rows of amber. I have 2 rows of the actual white LEDs. The light works off of a dual switch, so you're gonna have 2 switches. You're gonna have to have your ground power, and then you're gonna have your secondary power or for your amber light. So you'll flip a switch, you'll get yellow, you'll flip another switch, and then you'll get amber or yellow, and you should be able to go between the 2 of them, period, to where you'll have just amber only and or white only. So also within this box, it has all the brackets, mounting equipment. It does not come with anything to mount as far as on your Jeep. You are going to have to purchase those separately. I've purchased these separately through Auxbeam. These are some pretty nice brackets. They do have a little bit of, I guess, dross or whatever you call it from welding. It has a little bit of splatter on there, but they do feel heavy duty. They are made out of steel. Looks about like a, I don't know, like a 12 gauge, 18 gauge. But that really doesn't matter. They're going to mount up. They come with these little foam pads. Let's see if I can find the foam pads. Foam pads are over here. You're going to put the foam pads on, take these, mount these up, and then your lights are going to mount right on top of them. Very sleek look. So far, it does look like it's going to be a good fit to the Jeep. Sometimes you get these brackets and you don't know how they're going to mount up or what the heck's going to happen, or the holes aren't lined up. I've gone ahead and kind of tested everything, so so far so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get these brackets mounted up. We'll get the lights on there, and then we'll worry about the wiring when it comes down to it, and I'll show you guys how to wire them up and get these things to operate properly. Guys, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get the T40 and undo these 2 bolts. Alright, so now that you got the bolts out, we're going to go ahead and clean off the area. The next thing you're going to want to do is find the proper bracket and its actual pad. We're going to take this pad, we're going to line up the holes just like so. Take your screws, there is some wiggle room, so you can lift it. Make sure you lift it off the paint so it doesn't sit actually down on the Jeep. If it sits down on the Jeep, vibration stuff, you're going to etch into your paint. So make sure you lift it up a little bit before you tighten it down. Alright. That looks really good. So there's like a little bit of a gap here. So now we're going to be able to set our light on here, get it mounted up on the brackets, and figure out how to get the wire down into the engine bay. Alright guys, this is the bracket on the light, okay? You're like, oh yeah, that's nice. Well, I just want to let you know that it's very, very hard to get this bracket on. And I want to show you guys how to put it on and how not to mess up. Or, well, not really mess up, but how to put it on without going crazy. So, what you do is you get your bracket. You're going to, like, just kind of lay it in there. You're going to take a washer nut and you're going to drop it down in there like so. It's going to fit down into the groove. Okay. You're going to take one of your nuts and you're going to barely start spinning it in. And if they don't come with a little Allen wrench, I think it's a 3/16, just your normal everyday Allen wrench. So we're going to get this side started. Now we're going to drop it in on this side. So I can always get one, but I can't hardly get the other, and it's a pain for some reason on one of them every time I do this. Alright, we got it. Woo! Wow, that was awful. Well, now that we got our lights, we can go mount them up and see how they look. Alright guys, so the next thing you're going to want to do is to get your screw, drop it in. There's a little hole here you can drop your wire through if you like. That's not necessary right now, but you're going to want to get that screw on there. You're going to get your lock washer. You get your lock washer and your nut. And you're going to go on the underside and tighten it up. So I'm going to slide it forward so you guys can see. Put the lock washer on there. And this is the fun part. You're going to get to decide where you want this to sit. How far back do you want it? What type of angle do you want it on? So now that this is on, this is where you get to mess around with it. So you can turn it and come back here and see how it looks. We'll go ahead and get this one on, and then we'll get to mess around with them, see if you want it, one maybe pitched out. Some people I've seen where one's pointed outward and one's pointed forward. So we'll mess around with it. Right now it's kind of slanted at an angle, but we'll get it straightened out the way I like it. Everybody's different, and then we'll look into the wiring. The way I'm going to be wiring in my set of lights is on a 8-switch pod system. There's more than one way to wire these lights in. You can do a dual switch with 2 separate switches, or you can have a 3-way switch where you go in between the actual colors. One way is going to let you be able to leave 2 switches on. The multi-switch, you're going to be able to do amber or just white. They may make 4-way switches, I don't know, but I've got mine set up on my pod switch system, and I'm going to be able to toggle between 2 separate switches, and or leave them both on or both off. So thought I'd let you guys know that there's always more than one way to do this. I just happen to have a pod system. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this wiring on this multi-color or bicolor Auxbeam light. So you're going to have a ground, power, and power. So you can have multi-switch or a multi-directional switch or two separate switches to run these. So you're going to have a ground to each one. You can jumper the ground to the other. So what we're going to do is we have a switch panel that we are going to run our wires to. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. This is our switch panel, so we're going to bring our wires in. We're going to have a negative and a positive, and then we're going to have a negative jump over, and then we'll have a positive for one of the bicolors. So that should work. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump into getting all this prepped up. We are going to get our wire crimpers and put some wires together and run them to the box. So we got one done. We have two more to go. So we've already got one crimped, so we're going to go and crimp the rest of these. We'll do white to this yellow one, and then we'll do black to this ground. And once we get them all set up, we're going to extend it out, make sure it's going to reach the panel. We'll slide our heat shrink tape over there and cover these up. That way no water gets into them or anything like that. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your wire, you're going to feed it under, you'll raise this up, shove the wire under, and it will sit back down flush. And it is gonna pinch the wire a little bit right here, but not much. It's not gonna do any damage. What I'm trying to say, it's just gonna squeeze a little tight. So everything should be under here, nice and loosely. So we'll bring those out and get those over here to the panel, and then we'll wire those in properly and put the ends on those. Same thing on this side, guys. Lift this up, get your wire under it, put it back down, run the wire across. Alright, so this is the last part to the puzzle. Now that you've got all your wires ran over here, you've got your amber, you've got your white, you've got your ground. This is going to produce white light, this is going to produce amber, this is your ground. Now, we've got laid out is the first switch is with the red. This is your white on the bicolor light. This is your amber on the bicolor. So your first switch, we're going to put this on top of this one. That's going to turn both of them on in white. You're going to take this white wire and you're going to put it on top of the other white wire, which is for amber, and it's going to make it amber. Okay, that's two separate switches. Now we have jumpered the ground. So we just have to add this ground to one or the other. It doesn't matter which one. So we have two switches that operate both sets of the stages of colors. Also, when you turn both switches on, they will both be on. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these down. I'll get up close down here. We'll check it out, and then we'll go test this sucker out. We'll go test the lights in the dark. Alright, here are the white lights on the cubes. Pretty bright. Here is the amber. Here's both of them. Now the cool thing is I have white headlights with white cubes, or I have amber headlights and amber cubes. So that's why I went with these. It's pretty freaking awesome to be able to have multicolor. And there's actually a third. That's a in between, and that's in between. So you've got 3 functions on your headlights and on your pod lights, and it's actually pretty freaking sweet. That, my friends, is really, really, really bright. Let me turn the headlights off. And then I'll turn the Sasquatch lights. That's what I have as amber. And then my cube lights. So, oh, there it is. This thing is amazing. So I have both of them on. So it tells you both of them are on. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for joining me today and checking out the Auxbeam bicolor pod lights. That's 3 lights in one. You have your amber, your white, and your cool mix. And that's good for snow, rain, and just your everyday off-road use. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. And if you guys would like to purchase these, there's going to be a link in the description below where you can go to their website and or their Amazon page. Thank you guys so much again. Peace out. Take care. Keep Jeeping.